I am not saying let's go there, let's bring in negative energy, let's just look at it from every possible worrisome angle. But what I am getting at, what I think overthinking should be seen as, is when we give something our full focus and attention until we get the result that we need from it. Welcome back, friends. As always, I'm Matthew Pilling, Chief Overthinker with a Pilling Perspective. And a couple of people have asked me to explain that title, to explain what I mean. It's not a super common title. In our society, overthinking is often looked at as a negative trait. It's something where we spend time projecting negatives or just stalling out. We look at every possible scenario. We don't take action. We get into analysis paralysis. And I get that. And I've been very much guilty of that at times. And so when I invite you to overthink something with me in these videos, I am not saying let's go there, let's bring in negative energy, let's just look at it from every possible worrisome angle. But what I am getting at, what I think overthinking should be seen as, is when we give something our full focus and attention until we get the result that we need from it. And that might not always be that we get what we need from it in a single session or in a single moment. But Henry B. Eyring is a leader within the LDS Church, but his father was a renowned scientist and mathematician who understood things on a really good level. He just had a brain that worked a certain way. And Henry tells the story when he was young of approaching his dad for help on a math problem. And his dad was a good teacher, didn't just straight up give him the answer. His dad said, okay, here are some things that I see that you're not considering well enough, and maybe considering those will lead you to your answer. And a few days later, his dad asked him, so where are you on that math problem? And Henry kind of had to look at him and say, honestly, I can't say I've thought about it very much. And his dad very poignantly asked him, so you mean you came to me for help and your brain hasn't been working on the problem since then? What is it that your brain is working on in the moments when it has nothing that it needs to be working on? And then Henry goes on to tell the story of how that has changed his thought patterns. That has changed how he spends his free processing power. And he talks about the need for us to have things that our brain by default falls back to in the spaces, things that we are so connected to that solutions can naturally come to us, because as Einstein talked about, we're thinking on the plane of the solutions and not just on the plane of the problems anymore. And I have found in my life that the perspectives that I have gained that have been most useful, the perspectives that I've been able to come up with that have really moved me into acting and thinking and being a different person, haven't just landed upon me. They are things that have come when I have done what Henry Eyring is talking about there, when I have obsessed over something and allowed my brain to shift into overthink on things that matter to me. There are connections I've been able to make mentally where this point and this point are actually very connected. But unless I've gone through the work of thinking about it long enough, I'm not going to see that connection because it's not obvious to the naked eye. And that's not to say that I've come up with any major genius things, as much as just there are moments where if I do the world's view of overthinking, the problem just grows and multiplies, and it becomes unbearable. It becomes overwhelming. But there are also times where if I will put myself into the right frame of mind and then allow myself to think through, and that can be thinking through the negative side of things and or the positive side of things. But if I put a little faith into it that I will come up with the right answer, and then I actually put mental energy into figuring out the problem, the answers come a lot quicker. So when I invite you to join me in overthinking, do that. Spend some time really considering what we're talking about. Spend some time coming up with even your own ideas and theories beyond what I've shared in the video, and then come back and share them here with us. I hope this is a useful idea. I hope it helps. I invite you to overthink in future videos with me. Like this channel, subscribe to it, share it with those who need it. Thank you for being here.